Hello dear students. Today I will discuss the last part, that is part 8 of unit 2 solution. After studying this part of unit 2, you will be able to explain about the reverse osmosis, that is opposite of osmosis, also known as RO system. Then explain abnormal molar mass and abnormal colligative properties exhibited by some solutes in the solutions, that is association and dissociation. Association means the joining of particle take place, and dissociation means breaking of particle take place. And then explain and use of Van 't Hoff factor which are introduced to explain association and dissociation of molecules in the solution. And also you will be able to solve questions related to the above topics. Now reverse osmosis, that is also known as RO, or for reverse O for osmosis. The direction of osmosis can be reversed if a pressure larger than the osmotic pressure is applied to the solution side. That is, now the pure solvent flows out of the solution. In osmosis, what happens basically? The flow of solvent takes place from lower concentration to higher concentration. But here the flow of solvent takes place from solution of higher concentration to pure solvent or lower concentration. Osmotic pressure, I have told you, the pressure applied to the solution side to just stop the flow of solvent molecule to the solution. Here, to reverse this process, we have to apply more pressure than osmotic pressure to the solution side to reverse the process. That's why the water molecules or solvent molecules move from solution to pure solvent, and this process is also used in the purification of water. The purifier used in the houses are also example of RO system. Application: desalination of seawater, that means to remove salt from seawater to get fresh water, is known as desalination of seawater. This is also work on RO system. Solvent molecules from the solution is pushed into the pure solvent. Look the diagram. Your right side, pressure greater than pi is applied. Now so that the solvent molecules which are seen to you by yellow circle or sphere are moved from solution to the pure solvent side. So this is the example of reverse osmosis. Now we are able to solve question based on reverse osmosis. Question number first, given alongside is the sketch of a plant for carrying out a process. Point number 1, name the process occurring in the given plant. So for this question, look the condition in the figure. Pi is less than pressure applied, that is pressure applied more than pi. So that's denote the reverse osmosis. So the answer of first question is reverse osmosis. Second, to which container does the net flow of solvent take place? Again see the diagram. One container fresh water container and one sea water container. Here pressure more than osmotic pressure applied to the sea water. So that's why solvent moved to the fresh water container. Hence the answer is fresh water container. Question number third. Name one SPM semi permeable membrane which can be used to this plant. This you have to learn the answer. Cellulose acetate. This is the semi-synthetic polymers in which cellulose came from nature and we add acetate, so that this is a semi-synthetic placed on a suitable support is the answer of third part of question number 1. Fourth part, give one practical use of this plant. So the answer is desalination of sea water. This type of questions may be given, which can you solve on the basis of reverse osmosis. Question number 2. What happens when the external pressure applied become more than the osmotic pressure of the solution? So the answer again reverse osmosis. So when the external pressure applied become more than osmotic pressure of the solution, then the solvent molecules from solution pass through the semi permeable membrane to the solvent side, and process is called reverse osmosis. So maybe this type of questions asked in the board examinations. So your answer like that given here. Question number 3. State the condition resulting in reverse osmosis. Again, if the more pressure applied than osmotic pressure, in that conditions the movement of solvent molecule take place from solution to the pure solvent. The answer is reverse osmosis occurs when a pressure larger than the osmotic pressure is applied to the solution side. 3 questions are given. This type of questions may be asked in the board examinations. Got it? Now, next, abnormal molar mass. So what is abnormal molar mass? A molar mass that is either lower or higher than the expected or normal value is called as abnormal molar mass. This is due to abnormal colligative properties, that is either association or dissociation of solute particle in the solution. Abnormal molar mass or molecular mass are observed when the solution is non-ideal or not dilute, or the solute undergoes association or dissociation. So this condition is developed for non-ideal solution, but for ideal solution the mass is always normal. Now, abnormal colligative properties. This is also most important topics of Unit 2 solution. Sometimes while measuring colligative properties, abnormal results are obtained due to the following reasons: either association, first reason, or dissociation. Now let us explain association and dissociation. In case of association, as the name indicates, association means joining of molecules take place here. So two or more solute molecules associate to form a bigger molecule. Now what happens here? Just to take one example, if 2A is taken, but in the solution it become A2. So now two molecule are converted into single molecule. That's why number of particles decreases and hence colligative property also decreases. As I told you, the colligative properties are depend upon number of particles. More the number of particles, more will be the colligative properties. But molar mass is inversely proportional to colligative properties. That's why more the number of colligative properties, less will be the molar mass, and less the number of colligative properties, more will be the molar mass. So here the number of effective molecules in the solution therefore decreases. Consequently, the value of colligative property if observed is to be less than the calculated on the basis of undissociated molecules. So the molecular mass calculated by using colligative properties will be higher than actual. That is, colligative property is inversely proportional to molecular mass of solute. For example, two example you learn for board examinations. One acetic acid in benzene and benzoic acid in benzene. Their example of acetic acid in benzene given. To look the condition, two molecules of acetic acid are joined by H bonding. So that's why if you are taking two molecules of acetic acid in benzene, so in benzene it convert into single molecules by association through the H bonding. That's why number of particles decreases and hence colligative property decreases, but molar mass increases. In case of acetic acid, the molar mass is 60, but in this condition the molar mass become 120. Now similarly this also happen with the benzoic acid. Now in case of dissociation, as the name indicates, dissociation means breaking of particles. So here dissociation of solute in the solution, the number of effective solute particles increases. In such case, the value of observed colligative property will be greater than that calculated on the basis of undissociated solute particles. As a result, the molecular mass calculated in such case will be lower than the actual value. For example, if we are taking 1 mole of KCl in water, it break into 1 mole of K plus and 1 mole of Cl minus. So that's why 1 mole gives 2 mole of particles. So more the number of particles, more will be the colligative properties. But as I told you, the colligative property is inversely proportional to molar mass of solute. So that's why more the colligative property, less will be the molar mass. So these two conditions show the abnormal molar mass, either may be due to association, either may be due to dissociation. Now the most important factor we have to know, that is Van 't Hoff factor. The symbol is I. So this may be defined as I equal to observed or experimental colligative property divided by calculated or normal colligative property, or in term of mass. As I have told you, the colligative property is inversely proportional to molar mass. That's why the normal molar mass divided by observed molar mass is equal to I. I also can be calculated by total number of moles of particles after dissociation or association. divided by number of moles of particle before association or dissociation. So these two formula you have to use to calculate the Van 't Hoff factor in chapter solution, and this is most important also. Now, after including Van 't Hoff factor, the colligative properties equations are modified as follows. So in case of ideal solution, I equal to 1, so that's why no need to put the I value, but in case of particles of solute which either dissociate or associate, in that condition you have to put the value of I. That's why the formula of colligative property will change as follows. So P01 minus P1 divided by P01, this is the relative lowering of vapor pressure. This is equal to X2 mole fraction of solute, but now this is equal to Ix2. Then delta TB, elevation in boiling point, is equal to I into Kb into molality. Similarly, delta Tf equal to I Kf into molality, and osmotic pressure pi is equal to ICRT, or you can also write I N2 by VRT. Here C is molarity. As I have told you also, molality is temperature independent quantity, but molarity is temperature dependent quantity because it involves volume. Next, calculation of Van 't Hoff factor for dissociation. How we calculate the Van 't Hoff factor for dissociation of molecules? Like that, An when dissociate produce Na. Here the number of mole of A increases, that's why this example is for dissociation. Now number of mole dissolve in starting 1 mole, but in solution in starting phase 0 mole of Na, but after some time what happens? The number of mole after dissociated. So we have taken the value of dissociation molecules alpha, or also may be taken X. So 1 minus alpha molecules or particles are dissociated. So 1 minus alpha, and in the solution N alpha, N belong to the Na is given, then number of mole A for alpha molecules of A may be dissociated. So total number of moles present in the solution at equilibrium is equal to 1 minus alpha plus N alpha. Now I equal to total number of moles of particle after dissociation divided by total number of part before dissociation. So I equal to 1 minus alpha plus N alpha. This is the total number of particle after dissociation, and before dissociation the number of particle is 1. So that's why we get I equal to 1 plus N minus 1 alpha, or alpha equal to I minus 1 divided by N minus 1, where alpha degree of dissociation, it is given in the form of percentage. It may be also written in the form of X, or I equal to Van 't Hoff factor, N equal to number of ions produced per formula of the compound. For example, if KCl is given, it gives 2 number of ions, so that's why the value of N equal to 2. If alpha equal to 100, then next, for strong electrolytes, this you have to learn alpha equal to 1 or 100%. If nothing is given, and write the example NaCl, in that condition we have taken 100% dissociation, that is the value of alpha should be 1. So in that condition I is equal to N, that is total number of ions. Now some examples is given to explain this. Example number 1, NaCl, it break into Na plus and plus Cl minus ions. Here alpha is equal to 100%, that's why the value of I equal to 2. Similarly, K2SO4 produce 3 type of ions, 3 ions, that is 2K plus and 1 SO4 2 minus. In that condition, the I equal to 3 and hence N is also equal to 3. Now example 3rd, for the complex compound K4FeCN6 are break into 4K plus and 1 FeCN का whole 6 square bracket 4 minus. Here the value of N equal to 5. If alpha equal to 50%, then find the want of factor I. So for dissociation, we apply the formula I equal to 1 minus alpha plus N alpha. Here alpha is given 50%, that is 0.5 and N equal to 5. So by putting these value, we get the answer 3. So here the want of factor value is 3. If alpha equal to 100%, in that condition the I should be 5. That is total number of ions is equal to also I equal to N. Now example 4. Which of the following solution will exhibit highest boiling point? Here also the role of want of factor. In first case 0.01 capital M Na2SO4, second 0.01 capital M KNO3, third 0.015 capital M urea and fourth 0.015 capital M glucose. Here Na2SO4 and KNO3 are strong electrolytes, it will be dissociated, but urea and glucose is non-electrolyte, it will not dissociate. So according to formula, delta TV equal to I into Kb into molality. Here the answer is 1. I into molality of Na2SO4 is highest, since its boiling point will be also highest. Now how can you solve this? M of Na2SO4 equal to I into M. This equal to, here I equal to 3 because 2 Na2 plus ions plus 2 Na plus ions and 1 sulfate ions are produced in the aqueous medium. That's why the value of I equal to 3 and molality is given 0.01. That's why we get the answer 0.03 small m. M for KNO3, here I equal to 2 and molality is 0.01. That's why we get 0.02 molality. M for urea, 1 into small m. Here the urea is I equal to 1, not dissociate, and 0.015. So we get the answer 0.015. Similarly, glucose is also non-electrolytes, hence value of I equal to also 1. So we got also 0.015. Here the more molality is 0.03 small m. That's why the boiling point is also highest for Na2SO4. So this type of questions you have to solve like this. Now calculation of want of factor for association. Here n number of molecule of A taken, but in the solution now it convert into An. That means if n number of molecule are taken, it become NaN. If it is taken 1, it became alpha by N. So now the number of moles dissolve. So before dissolution, the total number of mole of A is 1 and An equal to 0. But after some time, when the equilibrium are got, in that condition, we think that alpha particle get associated. So we get 1 minus alpha is equal to, in the solution, alpha by N. So now total number of moles in the solution, 1 minus alpha plus N by alpha, alpha by N. Also we can calculate like this: I equal to total number of moles of particle after association divided by total number of moles of particle before association. So here alpha equal to, we got the answer I minus 1 divided by 1 by n minus 1. Again here the alpha degree of dissociation, either you can write x, I want half factor, and total number of ions produced per formula of the compound. 1 by n is less than 1. For example, acetic acid in benzene, the value of n equal to 1 by 2. For example, 2 molecule of acetic acid are converted into 1 mole of acetic acid in benzene. So 2 mole gives 1 mole, that's why 1 mole gives 1 by 2 mole of acetic acid in benzene. Like that, you can also solve the question based on association. Now note, this is also important to learn and understand. Greater the value of I, greater will be the value of colligative properties. As again I want to repeat, the colligative property depend upon number of particles and I also number of particles. The more the number of particles, more will be the colligative properties. Here some examples are given here. If I equal to 1, so solute behaves normally, that is solution is ideal. If I equal to 1 by 2, solute is dimer. If I equal to 1 by 4, solute is tetraatomic, for example P4. If I equal to 1 by 8, solute is octatomic, example S8. If I equal to more than 1, so this condition show more number of particles, so that means solute undergoes dissociation. And if I equal to less than 1, so solute undergoes association. So in case of dissociation, the value of I should be more than 1, but in case of association, the value of I should be less than 1. Now some values of want-of factors for strong electrolytes are given. NaCl, KCl. For this, the value of I is 2, as it produces 2 number of particles, 2 ions. In BaCl2 or CaCl2, it gives 3 number of particles, that's why equal to 3. Na3P4, 3 Na plus ions, or 1 P4, 3 minus. So 4 number of ions there, that's why the value of I is 4. For Al2, SO3 का SO4 whole thrice and K4 FeCN6, this will give the value of I 5. So by this way you can find the value of I for various colligative properties. Now some questions based on want-of factors given here. The question number 1, want-of factor for the aqueous solution of X, Y, Z are 1.8, 0.8 and 2.5. Which of the following statement or statements are correct? So here the more the want-of factor is for Z and then X and then Y. So more the I factor, more will be the colligative properties. So here first boiling point order is given, X is less than Y is less than Z. B given freezing point order, Z less than X, X less than Y. C option osmotic pressure, X equal to Y equal to Z. And D vapor pressure, Y is less than X and X is less than Z. But answer is B is correct. Now how you know that the answer B is correct? Observe colligative property is equal to I multiply by normal colligative property. So first for elevation in boiling points, the order should be more the number of I, more will be the boiling point. So the I is more for Z and then for X. So that's why the order should be X, Y, Z. But here given the order in the question X, Y and Z. So boiling point also follows the same order. y, x, z. B part, depression in freezing point follows the order z have more depression in freezing point than x and x is more than y, but freezing point is inversely proportional to number of particles, so that's why less the number of particles, more will be the freezing point. So here y should have more freezing point, that's why answer B is correct. In option C, osmotic pressure follows the order z is more then x and then y, but here given in the question x equal to y equal to z. As you know that osmotic pressure is also colligative property, that's why it depends upon the number of particles. If the number of particles are not same, in that condition the osmotic pressure is also not similar. D, relative lowering in the vapor pressure follows. Again same conditions, relative lowering vapor pressure is a colligative property, so that's why more the relative lowering of vapor pressure for those which have more van 't Hoff factor. So for this your answer should be y is less than x, x is less than z, but vapor pressure follows the order z is less than x and x is less than y. Reason, more the non-volatile solute, less will be the vapor pressure. So this type of questions you have to solve like this. So first of all, you read and learn properly about the van 't Hoff factor and then try to do this type of answer. Question number second, a 0.1 capital M solution of potassium sulfate, that is K2SO4, dissolved to extent of 90%, here alpha is given 90%. What would be its osmotic pressure at 27 degrees centigrade? So maybe this type of questions may be asked. So first of all you have to find the van 't Hoff factor. So for this we know the formula of osmotic pressure equation, pi equal to I CRT. So first of all we have to calculate I. The K2SO4 break into 2K plus and SO4 2 minus. In initial condition only 1 mole of K2SO4 are present and 0 K plus and 0 sulfate ions, but after some time in equilibrium we think that X part or alpha part are dissociated. In that condition 1 minus X, this will give 2K plus, that means 2X, and 1 sulfate, that is 1X. So total number of mole after dissociation 1 minus X and then plus 2X and plus X. So we got 1 plus 2X. Here X is given 90%, that is 0.9. So on putting the value of I like this, I equal to total number of particle after dissociation divided by total number of particle before dissociation. So this is 1 plus 2x divided by 1. Now putting the value of x, we got the answer 2.8. Now the putting of value of I in the formula pi equal to I CRT, we get the answer like this. Here the value of R should be either in ATM or should be in bar. So 0.1 given, molarity given, 2.8 I we can calculate, and temperature given 7 degrees centigrade. So that we have to change in Kelvin by adding 273. So that's why we get the temperature 300 Kelvin, and your answer is after calculating 6.90 ATM. So maybe this type of questions asked in the board examination. Question number third, which of the following solution has higher freezing point? So freezing point is not a colligative property, but depression in freezing point is a colligative property, and depression in freezing point is inversely proportional to freezing point. Here given 0.05 capital M Al2SO4 का whole thrice and 0.1 M K3FeCN का whole 6. So first give the 5 ions and second give the 4 ions. So now calculate the Vanta factor. So for 0.05 capital M Al2SO4 higher freezing point region 0.05 capital M Al2SO4, so I equal to 5. In that condition, delta TF is directly proportional to number of particles. So delta TF is equal to I into concentration. So here I equal to given 5 and concentration given 0.05, that will gives 0.25 moles of ions. In second case 0.1 m K3 FeCN का whole 6, here I equal to 4, तो we get delta TF equal to 4 into 0.1, that will gives 0.4 mole of ions. So more the delta TF, less will be the freezing points, and less the delta TF, more will be the freezing point. The less delta TF is calculated for Al2SO4 का whole thrice. That's why Al2SO4 का whole thrice have more freezing point. Next, some questions are given here for self assessment. Question number 1, determine the correct order of property mentioned against them. So 10% glucose P1, 10% urea P2 and 10% sucrose. So here to find the osmotic pressure relationship. Second case 0.1 small m NaCl, 0.1 m urea, 0.1 m MgCl2. For this question you have to find the order in elevation in boiling point. In third case 0.1 m CaCl2, 0.1 m sucrose and 0.1 m NaCl. For this you have to find the correct order for depression in freezing point. Question number 2, a decimolar solution. I have told you about this. Decimolar means, semimolar means 1/2, and for decimolar it should be m/10. So that's why you can find this also. A decimolar solution of potassium ferrocyanide, formula is given is 50% dissociated. For this the value of alpha is 50% at 300 Kelvin. So calculate the Vanta factor for potassium ferrocyanide. So similarly we can use the formula of dissociation. Question number 3, calculate the boiling point of solution when 4 gram of MgSO4, the molar mass is given 120 gram per mole, were dissolved in 100 gram of water, assuming MgSO4 undergoes complete ionization. That means here I is equal to N, total number of particles will be 2. Kb is also given. So this can be put in the formula and try to calculate the answer by your own self after reading all the topic from unit 2. Now before starting chapter 3rd, you have to recall all the topics which I have given in 8 lectures and try to do all the question answer given in the NCERT in the form of in-text question, exercises, and also try to do or solve examples. As you know that the more the practice, more will be the perfections. So follow this rule with proper orientations. Make the patience, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep learning. Thank you.